Hi, friend. If you are tired of living as the budget version of yourself, if you're ready to show up as an upgraded, more authentic you, if you have realized that it is actually so disrespectful to source to your own self and to other people, to hold back your own light and to live as a budget, cheap ass version of this beautiful being that you really are, then this video is for you. I'll be talking about my own journey to upgrade myself and the four specific ways that I have decided to overhaul and upgrade my own mindset. The first one is my perspective on discipline. I grew up with a very disciplinarian parent, and it really colored how I see discipline. It made me think that discipline is something very restrictive, very controlling, harsh, extreme, not fun, painful. So I had all these negative connotations around discipline. I thought it was coldness and suffering, but actually, discipline is definitely none of those things. Discipline is integrity. It's showing up every single day as the version of yourself that you know yourself to be. It is not forcing yourself to go on through your physical pain. It is consistency. It is showing up. And it's also showing up when on the days that you suck. It's showing up on the days that you know you're going to be the worst student or the worst one in the room. That's discipline. It's a commitment to self that is so rooted in self love and self respect. And that's how I see discipline now. Discipline is a way of honoring your future self. It's saying that I'm showing up here today for you because I want you to have something better, to exist in a reality that is better than the one I have now. It is really an offering of love to your future self. At the same time, it's a nod to your past self. It is not beating up the past self, but saying, I trust that you did not know better and I forgive you. And here I am showing up for both of us. The next budget framework I'm letting go of for a new upgrade is blaming others. It's just so easy to blame other people, especially maybe people who were supposed to take care of us and do their best and be kind, nurturing persons to us. But the truth is, we are all adults here. Well, this video is for adults, so we are all adults here, and we are all responsible for how our lives turned out. I know that sounds so difficult, especially if you are coming from a lot of childhood trauma. But in my own experience, I have really come to understand that taking self responsibility is an act of great self love. It is an act of great self empowerment. It is saying that I am no longer a victim. I may have had an unideal childhood. I may have been mistreated, but henceforth I am a person of my own power and I will choose my destiny. Just saying that out loud fills me with so much courage and makes me feel so brave and so strong. I think that's where all the magic happens when you're able to say that I am responsible for my own life. And I know that my external reality is a reflection, it's a mirror of what's going on inside. I really like this thing that I heard on Instagram. I think Graham Weaver said it. We are responsible for healing ourselves. We are responsible for healing in ourselves things that we did not deserve. And that is just so empowering. It is so liberating. You are no longer sitting around and waiting for your offenders to say sorry to you, to apologize to you, to change. Nah. You are just taking up your own space and living your own life and calling your energy back in and becoming an empowered person with influence. The next upgrade is around spending, mindless spending. Not just spending of money, although that's important, it's also spending of time and energy and effort. I am replacing mindless spending with a mindset of investing. I want to consciously choose which relationships actually improve my life, which relationships actually inspire me to be the best version of myself, to put myself out there, to push for more. Which relationships, which people will be cheering for me when I achieve my dreams. I want to be with people who are not afraid of great achievement. I don't want to be with small minded people who will try to pull you down or make you feel like you are taking away from others when you achieve good things. And this mindfulness, this mindset of investing, it also applies, of course, to material things. I'm only purchasing things that I feel are really good value for money and that I can see myself using years and years ahead. I think that this third upgrade also covers letting go of things that are no longer aligned with you. Even if you have invested so much time in a relationship or a friendship, that does not mean that you must continue on investing even more time. That's the sunk cost fallacy, and it is a fallacy for a reason. I'm also applying that to my wardrobe. Even if I spend so much money on a garment, if I am no longer using it, I'm going to respect myself enough. I'm going to respect my wardrobe enough, and I'm going to trust the universe enough that if I give this garment away, if I donate it, this energy is going to come back to me in another form. It's knowing that I deserve to have the closet, the wardrobe of my dreams. And like Marie Kondo says, you can really thank even the things that you no longer want to keep. You say thank you for showing me that you are not what I needed. I needed something else. Thank you for showing me that this style doesn't suit me. Everything that comes into our lives wants to teach us something, be it relationships or material things. The last and I think the most important upgrade is changing my mindset from one of charity and overgiving to boundaries and self respect. I have been on such a journey about boundaries. I think it was in 2016 that I first learned about boundaries, and it just blew my mind when my therapist asked me, "Have you heard about boundaries?" I was like, "Yeah, like walls and borders, right?" And she was like, "No, girl, boundaries are rules that you can have about how you want other people to treat you." And I know boundaries are such a byword now. Everyone is talking about boundaries, and I think it's so great. But if you are like me back then and you haven't heard of boundaries, girl, please learn about them. They are amazing. They are so empowering because they teach that you can say no, that you can choose your own life, you can make your own choices, and that you can be a kind person. In fact, the kindest version of yourself is the one that has boundaries. And boundaries are not walls or fences that we put up to isolate ourselves, to be the princess in the tower. Boundaries are ways that we can love ourselves while also loving others. It's something I'm really still learning about, and it has been showing up in my life a lot. Now, I think the lesson plan for me is about how I could be more mindful of unspoken boundaries of others, or how I can navigate having the humility to do that dance of boundaries of other people. Because I'm realizing now that's the thing. When you have your own boundaries, you start to be more aware of other people's boundaries as well. So it's actually very, very respectful. And I think a lot of the times in relationships, no one really comes to you with a whole list of their boundaries and say, like, okay, this is how I want to be treated. It's not like that. It's often a lot of trial and error and a lot of forgiveness, a lot of compassion, but also a lot of firm self love. Once you have stated your boundary and the other person is not respecting your boundary, then maybe you have to consider going back to upgrade number three. Is this a relationship that I want to continue investing in? Thank you for listening, my friend. I hope you learned something about the four upgrades that I'm implementing in my own life. Let me know in the comments if you are implementing any of these upgrades or if you have other upgrades that you would like to share. I would really be happy to read and connect with you. Please like this video if it added value to you. I also have a link in the description if you would like to send me a gratitude gratuity. Have a good week, my friends.